Welcome to another edition of Climax Scott's Football Highlights. The Panthers moved to 2-0 with a 40-18 win over Colon Friday at CS Junior Senior High School. The two former SJV rivals that now play in the SCAA engaged in a battle Friday that is being recognized as a non-league tilt. The two SCAA rivals will face each other again in an SCAA league contest in the regular season finale October 19th at Colon. Similar to the season opener in a 46-6 win over Athens, the Panthers were impressive on both sides of the football Friday. Alex Lotus, who scored 3 touchdowns in the game, led the offensive surge with 146 yards on 7 carries. CS opened the scoring when Zach Nabosny scored on a 28-yard run at the 6:42 mark of the first quarter on the first play following a Lotus interception. Josh Fleck kicked the extra point. Lotus, a 100 and 200 meter dash state champion, displayed his speed throughout the game. The CS speedster sprung loose for a 51-yard scamper with 4:49 left in the first quarter. Fleck kicked the extra point, giving CS a 14-0 lead after one quarter. Lotus displayed his speed again at the 9:06 mark of the second quarter when he broke loose and raced down the field ahead of the Magi defenders on a 69-yard touchdown run, giving his team a 20-0 halftime cushion. The extra point kick was blocked. The CS defense came up with a big stop late in the first half to stall any momentum the Magi were trying to create when Nabosny tipped the pass near the end zone away, and then the defense held Colon on a 4th and 4 at the Panther 4-yard line with 14 seconds left in the first half. A 38-yard pickup by Gibson to open the second half put CS on the Magi 19-yard line, and then Sam Eschheis crossed the goal line on a 19-yard touchdown run 27 seconds into the third quarter. Fleck's extra point kick made the score 27-0. Colon finally dented the goal line when quarterback Aaron Balze scored on a 6-yard run with 8:32 left in the third quarter. The 2-point conversion attempt was intercepted by Eschheis. Colon recovered an onside kick, but the CS defense stalled momentum, coming up again big when Kurt Gibson intercepted a pass at the CS 35-yard line and returned the pigskin to the Magi 46-yard line. Oops, sorry. Lotus weaved his way up the middle, evading Magi defenders, scoring on a 9-yard burst with 1:44 left in the third quarter for a 33-6 Panther lead at the end of 3 quarters. The extra point kick was no good. Gibson, who had a highlight reel punt return in the season opener against Athens, made a dazzling run of 61 yards when he found a nice hole created by the offensive line, evaded a series of Colon players at midfield, broke to the outside, and turned on the Jets, flying down the right sidelines for a 61-yard touchdown run with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Fleck kicked the extra point for a 40-6 CS lead. Colon scored on a 7-yard run by Ronnie Moyer with 8:34 left in the game. The 2-point conversion attempt failed. And then Moyer struck again on a 3-yard run with 40 seconds left in the game to complete the scoring after the 2-point conversion attempt was intercepted by Gibson. CS rolled up 362 yards rushing, while Colon had 237 yards rushing and 83 yards passing on 11 of 22 completions and 3 interceptions. A host of CS players flourished on the defensive side of the football. Kurt Gibson had 19 tackles and an interception. He returned 35 yards. Justin Satterley added 15 tackles. Cody Moody finished with 14 tackles. And Zach Nabozny had 11 tackles, including 3 tips on long passes. After the game, Zach Nabozny and Coach Langs talked about the big win. You got Zach Nabozny here, starting quarterback for the Panthers. Zach, assess your performance as a team and individually tonight.
We did really well. Defense, flying around, hitting people, knocking out. You know, that's what we came to do for football. But our defense really set the tone. For our offense, it's the momentum killer. Right before half, when we stopped them, they just didn't want to play after that. So, and like Coach T. Lang said, he goes, Aaron Balze carried the ball 25 times. If we hit him as hard as we possibly can 25 times, he's not going to want to run the ball. And that's what we did. We played team defense.
As far as you individually, you know, you're the quarterback, but you made some great tips in that secondary. You guys really were doing good attacking the ball tonight, weren't you?
Yes, we were. It was actually my first time starting on defense, so Coach Langs, or T. Langs, put me on defense this first time, and doing a lot of drills, and he knows what he's doing because he's come from Wheaton and everything, so I soak everything in, and it's just been a blast so far.
You bet. It's only 2 games in, Zach, but how do you like the makeup of this team overall so far?
I like it a lot. We have a lot of chemistry. We've always, all the way through Rocket, we've just had this thing that we bonded really well together. So the juniors, they help us seniors out a lot. Offense line, defensively, it's just really nice.
Tonight, talk about your defense tonight under Coach T. Langs.
You know, I'm not sure. I mean, we just flew around. You know, we basically played base defense all night long. Nothing really fancy. And, you know, that first half, it was as good a defense as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really nice job. I just thought our kids were prepared.
I think we'll be good.
And you talked about Cullinan was a real big threat to hold them down to 12 until the last few minutes.
Even to hold them 18. If you'd have said we held them 18, I'd have been tickled to death. But you're right, even 12 up to the last 50 seconds.
Yeah. Very impressive.
It was. Just a nice job of, again, team defense. Kids closing windows, covering gaps, and doing a nice job. And not doing it themselves, but doing it as a team. 11 guys play defense. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We had more than that night. We probably had 22 or more, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And Coach T. Langs talked about one of your strategies going into the game was swarming the ball in the Balze boy.
Yep. It was, but we've swarmed pretty good in our scrimmage and goal bowls in Athens. So we were trying to get Balze because we knew one guy in space was going to have a tough time with him. So we had to all cover our areas, you know, get to our closings, and then get there as fast as we could. Like I said before, you know, Tyler teaches them, hey, listen, if you make a mistake, make it at full speed, because we get there at full speed and cover windows. We can, you know, make a mental mistake and still be okay.
Yeah. And finally, next week, rivalry week. You got the new school, Adrian Lenawee Christian.
Yep.
Talk about that, please. Your next opponent.
To the better, you know, Balze is a great quarterback, and these two that they have for our level are 2 very good quarterbacks. You know, and so we're going to have to be. They run a little different scheme, a little zone scheme, so it's going to be different than what we've seen. So we're going to have to readjust to that. Scheme-wise a little bit, but we're going to have to fly around and do the same thing. And rivalry night, we hope the fans come out and support their Spartans or their Wolverines and buy their raffle tickets
there you go.
Julie Tiller and her gang.
Yeah. Reporting live from Big Blue Stadium, this is Scoop for www.theclimaxcrescent.com.